Hello. I've been asked to give an introduction to our practice of the precepts that will be happening in the next 3 months. As a person of Zen, as a person in a community of Zen, it's up to me, it's up to you to take a fresh look at practice again and again at how we embody the teachings. In fact, this is one of the great innovations of Zen, that the teachings are not in sutras, are not in books, are not even in the mouths of teachers, but they are most immediate and most powerful as they occur in our lived experience. We study, in fact, the lived moments of the great masters. We study how Kuan Yin uses her arms and eyes, not as a recipe or a template to follow, but to prompt us to find a way in to our own experienced life and actions. We will examine this over the next 2 to 3 months in our study of the precepts. There's an invitation here to study them in a number of ways. For some, the precepts are a powerful way to develop mastery of our lives to a greater and greater degree, and to form also in each of our studies of the precepts, it forms a community of practice for us all, a place of homecoming for us all. And we hold each other's practice by holding our precepts for ourselves. For some also, these can point to ethical and moral guidelines. They are big statements, and so in function, historically as well as practically, we tend to have local laws or cultural norms for a lot of the ways that we guide our behaviors. Specifically, in the monasteries, they had monastic codes and Confucianism and so forth. But as we go into the precepts, it becomes clear, while they don't function that practically as rules or laws, they do point out where separation occurs, where harm occurs. And they also do point out, most importantly, as where the healing comes from, where realization happens, where connection can grow. So, the precepts are lived. They're not conjectured. They're not concepts. And at root, they point you towards who you are as your most grounded, connected, welcoming, awakening self. As a practice, they can point out where I have been caught, where I have broken with integrity, with my practice, with my partner, or how I spend my time or resources. And this can be a doorway that we can walk through to a more realistic way of life by practicing these precepts. Who am I before the notion that I need to steal comes in? What is the freedom, my birthright, without getting caught in craving attention for myself over others? What is the freedom that is already always been there? What is the kindness that has already always been there? How have old ideas served you, like holding back your best efforts from others, but also limited you? So this is the practice of the precepts as well. Each precept is stated as a practice. I take up the way of, and then the precept follows. And then from your true home, what arises is what is non-killing, non-stealing, not grasping after. It's sometimes helpful for me to use the word non rather than not, for non-killing rather than not killing, to illustrate the nature of the precept as an abiding state, what abides in this ongoing way, which is expressed as non-killing, the way of non-killing, not just a one-time event of not killing. The precepts are recited, preceded by words attributed to Bodhidharma, which illustrates the abiding nature of practicing the precepts. So, self-nature is subtle and mysterious, begins each one. And in the realm of the in the realm of the mysterious Dharma, in the realm of the ongoing Dharma, not giving rise to the thought of is the practice. Afterwards, each precept is recited with words from Dogen, inviting depth and richness. Then there's some just beautiful images, an ocean of bright clouds, an ocean of grave clouds. The Teisho of the actual body is a harbor and weir where human eyes gather. Gradually, I awaken, you awaken, to a greater integrity through this process. We are gestated by the precepts. I give birth to mastery in my life, and I am birthed by this process of turning your harmful karma into beautiful dharma, as it's been said. So, with the start of our study, we will begin by taking refuge. The three necessities of practice are useful here, perhaps, or relevant. The three necessaries are great faith, great doubt, and great perseverance. So we must have great faith, having faith in the people around us and before us who have walked this way and have realized something with this, and embody this practice. I think of my grandson when he comes over to visit. He doesn't use the front door. He knocks on the window, and I open the window, and he just jumps. No words. He just jumps through the window, knowing that I'll be there to catch him. That's having great faith in those people that we trust in this way. But we also must have great doubt that the way is not lived in others until it makes sense in us. The way cannot be trusted until we see that we are caught by the practice. Until we experience it for ourselves, we cannot call it the way. And the Buddha, those were the final words of the Buddha. Don't trust anybody else except your own experience in this. Again, the teachings are only what we take up most immediately and powerfully, what we can take up in our own lives. And then finally, great perseverance. Thich Nhat Hanh points out that the tigers of distraction want to steal away your great light. You must be a tiger. You must be as fierce as a tiger, says Thich Nhat Hanh. And this is your life. The text reads that we take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. Consider it how it changes the meaning subtly to take this up as your life. I take refuge as the Buddha. I take refuge as the Dharma. I take refuge as a Sangha, as it's sometimes stated, taking refuge as the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Not separate from who you are, always. Already are. That's the place I hope that makes the most sense to you in this. More will come as we explore these precepts, and I look forward to sharing this journey with you.